All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the 5th annual Youth Storytelling Slam here in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. The Slam is a culmination of a 10-week program in partnership with the Colorado New Play Festival and the Boys and Girls Clubs of Steamboat Springs. We'd just like to make a few special thank yous. First off to Kelly Landers of the Boys and Girls Club, yes. Also like to thank the great Sherry Holland for leading the program. And additionally, the great volunteers that have assisted with Sherry's work, Abby, Peggy, Brian, Natalia, and Val. You're all here. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to thank Teresa and David, who are going to be our panelists for this evening. And also, we'll bring out some very talented actors, Colorado born and raised. They're wonderful. Their names are Alex Campbell, Andy Deuce, Lizzie Foreman, and Madison Tate. They're going to bring these stories to life for you tonight. They're all wonderful. I've been seeing them work all day, and they're super excited. Let me see here. And then we also, of course, want to do a very special thank you to the Craig Scheckman Family Foundation, the Moniker Foundation, and the Bud Warner Memorial Library for hosting this event once again. And then, just so you know, if you haven't already been made aware, this evening will be recorded. The video will be available to you on Monday. It'll be posted on YouTube, on the Boys and Girls Club website, on the Colorado New Play Festival website, and also it will be sent to the writers and their families for your own use and enjoyment. And yes, last but not least, there is a 5-minute intermission after the fifth piece of 10. And anything else?
I think that's it. We're ready to
Right.
roll.
Wonderful. Without further ado, please welcome our actors for the 5th annual Youth Storytelling Slam. Thank you.
Introducing Bella and the Beast by Juniper.
Once upon a time, there was a girl named Bella. Bella was walking down the street to the baguette shop to meet her best friend Jack. The smell of baking baguettes floated through the air, making Bella's stomach growl like a tiny monster. After Jack and Bella got baguettes, they decided to shop downtown.
I have a great idea. Let's go to the haunted castle.
Oh,
With her mouth gaping open, Bella proclaimed,
you read my mind.
When they arrived at the castle, they were greeted with an old, inky smeared sign with possible bloodstains. A closer glance showed movement in the window. Eek! The front gate creaked slowly in the wind like it was saying, "Don't come in, don't come in."
Okay, this is gonna be spooky.
All right.
Bella was thinking to herself that she wished she had never come. I mean, didn't Jack see that sign? The sign read, "Watch the time, or else." As they stepped inside, the door slammed shut behind them with a loud bang.
Oh, okay, that's probably normal haunted house behavior.
Cobwebs hung everywhere. One even stuck to Jack's face.
Get off!
She and Jack definitely saw and heard something watching them. A pair of glowing eyes blinked from the darkness and then disappeared. 2 hours later, suddenly they both started shaking. The floor was shaking with them. Dust fell from the ceiling like spooky snow.
Is it just me, or do you feel that too?
Oh, get out of here!
They both ran as fast as they could, but it was too late. Bella should have listened to her gut. They weren't paying attention to the time, nor did they consider the consequences of what the sign warned them about.
Did you keep track of the time?
Suddenly, out of nowhere, a hole appeared in the sky, and the full moon was directly above them. Moon dust sprinkled down on Jack like glitter from a haunted disco ball. Standing directly in front of Bella was a brown, furry, scary beast.
Jack, you're a beast!
Jack looked down at his giant furry paws.
Well, At least I won't be cold in the winter. You know, I read about this happening before, but I thought it was just a legend. Oh, it's my fault. I never should have brought us here.
Oh, I'm so mad at you, Jack. How will you change back?
All of a sudden, a bloody hand grabbed Jack's furry arm.
Who are you?
I've been locked in this castle for 200 years, waiting for a boy to turn into a beast. If you help me bury my body, the curse will be broken, and you will be a boy again.
Bella and Jack looked at each other.
Yep, that sounds like a totally normal Tuesday problem.
Yeah, okay.
So they found the body, reunited it with the hand, and buried it under a crooked tree outside the castle. And sure enough, the curse was broken. Jack turned back into a regular boy. Jack looked down at his hands.
No fur!
Next time we see a creepy sign that says "or else," we're leaving.
Deal.
And Bella learned to read spooky signs and trust her gut. The end.
Start with reading the titles. Great sound.
I really loved your story. You did an amazing job. The sentence, well, at least I won't be cold in the winter, and that sounds like a totally normal Tuesday problem. Those were both really funny to me, and I liked your additions of those to make us laugh during the story. I also really loved at the end how you made it a lesson about what Bella learned. It felt sometimes we feel like with stories like this, the ending of the love stories, making it a funny lesson was something that I really wasn't expecting, but understanding. Some questions that I had after the story were after the 2 hours, I was just left wanting a little bit more. I wanted to know what happened in those 2 hours. So that was something that left me wanting a little bit more explanation. And then also the part with the hand and the body, I was wanting a little bit more explanation about why the boy had to turn into a beast and how the curse came along and who cursed the hand and stuff. So questions like that, but I'm sure if you wrote along your story, it would be okay. So good job.
Okay, now it's time for Triple Disaster, written by Annika.
The New York night sky was the prettiest thing some people would ever see, but it would not stay pretty for too long. Talia and her best friend Lila walked from the movie theater to the bakery. They were talking about a very interesting subject, natural disasters. As they opened the turquoise bakery door, their noses sniffed in the fresh aromas of bagels they were just about to buy. Mr. Manhara greeted them as they picked out their bagels and paid. Then they sat at their usual place, a table for two. They had consistently been coming here because Talia was trying to stay as far away as she could from her brother, Carson. He was so annoying. She often complained to her mother, but all her mother said was that he loved her and all that kind of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Today, Carson had broken his wrist playing on the monkey bars with his friend, George, and came home crying. So Talia's mom had taken him to the hospital while Talia went to the movie theater with Lila. Of course, she felt bad for her little brother, but he was so annoying, she might as well get rid of him. Talia's mind quickly raced back to her secret. Sometimes she wished that her little brother would never come back. But she quickly forgot about that as she took in a big bite of her bagel. But even a delicious bagel couldn't distract from the humongous red balls emerging from the sky. Boom, boom, boom! 3 balls of red flaming fire hit the ground, and it was definitely too late to run.
Oh no, what happened here?
I don't know.
A meteor strike had just happened. That's why everything was covered in a flickering orange flame. The firefighters had already arrived, but their hoses and other equipment weren't enough to put out all the fires. They would clearly need some backup. Talia had caught a couple words that they were saying.
Hit hospital, grocery store, and oil refinery.
It seemed that one of the meteors had hit a hospital, the other a grocery store, and the last an oil refinery.
Oh no!
Talia thought about her mom and brother going to the hospital earlier. Did they get caught in a burning building and hit by a meteor?
No, this can't be real.
Suddenly, she thought of something she had wished earlier might come true. Carson would never come back. But at that instant, all of her good memories of her little brother came pouring in. Then she finally realized how much she loved her brother.
Are you okay?
Lila asked Talia gently as Talia wiped a tear off her cheek. She had forgotten she was there.
It's just the smoke, like, making my eyes water.
After the meteors hit, the clear sky had turned to a smoky gray color, and the clouds had rollen in. It was very hard to breathe, but there was a bigger problem. One of the meteors had hit an oil refinery, and now the oil had caught on fire. We are doomed if an oil explosion was going to happen.
Oh, we're doomed! We need to get out of here and fast, or we will actually be doomed.
What should we do now?
I don't know. Shouldn't we be evacuated by now?
Well, maybe the firefighters can get it under control?
No, they don't have a chance. You saw how big the fire was.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get to Duck Pond and head to the island. We can take a canoe so we don't get stuck.
Brilliant.
They raced to Duck Pond, and as soon as they got there, they hopped in a neon yellow canoe to paddle to the island. They had to be careful to paddle around the ducks. After all, it's called Duck Pond. As soon as they got to the island, they knew they were safe. A couple weeks later, they were right. They stayed safe on the island. Now that the fire was almost out, it was time to restart and rebuild. Thankfully, their house wasn't burned down, but lots of others lost their homes. Families helped each other, and soon their community was coming back together. Mr. Manhara was especially helpful. Luckily, the fire hadn't burned down his bakery and his baked bagels and croissants for everyone. But over 20,000 people had lost their homes and were now gone. The government built a memorial for those who had lost their lives in the fire. After everything had been cleaned up and rebuilt, everyone seemed closer. Well, at least everyone who had helped. And the city was very lively too. It seemed that even though the fire had killed many people and was truly sad, it had brought us all together and made our community stronger. That is a good thing. You can always find the good in the bad. And yes, if you were wondering, Carson did survive. Turns out they never actually went to the hospital because Carson was faking and really just wanted to leave school to get a pink drink at Starbucks. The end.
So a couple things that I liked about this story. I really liked the descriptions of just how annoyed Talia was with her little brother, and how she realized eventually that she really did love her little brother. And I liked the message of community coming together and getting stronger as they work together and to get over the disaster. A couple things I'd like to have known a little more about if the story had been a little longer is what was on the island on Duck Pond? How did they survive for a couple of weeks there on Duck Pond? And how about Mr. Manhara and the others who were left back in the city? I'd kind of like to have heard a little bit more about their survival tales. But in a longer story, you'd have time to flesh that out. But great job. I enjoyed the story. Thanks.
The Amazing Peanut and the Stoat by Poe Bay.
Being a dog is amazing. You get free food, a free house, free toys, and best of all, belly rubs. My name is Peanut, and I am a Beagle Cattle Dog mix. I live in Oak Creek, Colorado, and I have a brown peanut-shaped spot on my back, which is how I got my name. I love chicken, chasing small animals, and I love my owner, Poe. She's the best. I don't know what I would do without her. One day, I found myself lying on my back getting belly rubs from Poe, when suddenly, ring, 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 the phone rang. Mom walked over, picked it up, and said with a smile on her face,
Hello, this is Mandy.
Some mumbling came from the phone. Mom's smile disappeared, replaced by a frown.
Oh no.
Mumble, mumble, said the phone.
Oh, yes, of course. We'll be right there.
Mom set down the phone and called Poe over, interrupting my belly rubs. She told Poe a few things, and Poe looked very worried.
All right. Well, hey, Peanut, we're going for a little walk.
I jumped up immediately. I love walks. I ran to the back room where my leash and harness were and sat down. Poe and Mom came right over behind me and grabbed their coats and put on their boots.
Are you ready to go, Peanut?
We walked out the door into the morning air. There was a slight breeze, but it felt nice. I took a big whiff of smells. I was excited to smell all the trees, the fire hydrants, bushes, and trash cans. But instead, we turned and walked into our neighbor's driveway. Why are we going to the neighbor's house? Poe and Mom led me into the neighbor's porch and up the door. Poe knocked.
Knock, knock, knock.
Our neighbor Dana answered the door.
Oh, good, you're here. Come on in, guys.
I couldn't believe it. I actually was going into the neighbor's house. I had never been inside before, and immediately I smelled so many new smells. Poe and Mom took off their boots and removed my harness. I raced into the house, smelling everything at once. I could smell fresh pancakes with a hint of strawberries. As you probably know, a dog's sense of smell is 10,000 to 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's, which makes smelling one of my favorite hobbies. Then I smelled someone I knew. I ran into the kitchen and saw Lucy, Dana's daughter and Poe's best friend. She was eating breakfast, but when she saw me, she dropped to her knees and started petting me all over.
Hello, Peanut. How's my puppy? Are you going to be a hero today?
I didn't know what she meant, but I was happy for the attention.
Hi, Lucy. Is Smokey okay?
Oh, Smokey's fine. She's in my room with her litter box and food.
Okay.
I could smell the cat scent coming from upstairs and assumed Smokey was the cat. And then I smelled a different animal in the house, one that didn't belong. I said, trying to warn the girls. A stoat, I thought. Then I saw it. It was a small, weasel-looking creature with brown fur and white fur. I realized that the small creature was the stoat and that I had to get rid of it. Poe, Lucy, Mom, and Dana all moved out of the way as I started chasing the stoat. I ran as fast as I could, jumping and dodging obstacles. I chased the stoat in a few laps around the house, but then it ran into the cupboard and slipped underneath it. I looked under the cupboard and saw the stoat staring back at me with confusion.
Who are you and why are you chasing me?
I am Peanut, I replied, and I am chasing you because you are terrorizing my neighbors.
Well, Peanut, you won't be catching me today.
I stepped back, missing the stoat by an inch. As I moved, the stoat came sprinting out from under the cupboard. You're fast, I said, as I began to run after him. But are you fast enough? I was hot on Stoat's tail. Just a few more steps and I could have catch him. But then there was a wall in front of him, and I knew this must be it. I was finally going to catch the Stoat. But suddenly, he turned and I ran straight to the wall. Ugh. I felt dizzy for a few seconds. Then I slowly walked back into the kitchen with my head down, and Poe walked over and whispered in my ear.
I believe in you, Peanut. You've got this.
When Poe said that, I knew I would catch the stoat. Like the gears in my brain began to turn as I thought of a plan. Then I had it. I had the perfect plan. First, I would find the stoat and chase it into the bathroom. Then I would corner it and go in for the attack. Finally, I would bring the stoat to Mom and Poe, and they would be proud of me. Now, it was time to put my action into plan. I took a big whiff of air and followed the stoat's scent all the way into the living room. I charged at him, this time without running into the wall. He tried to run into the opposite direction of the bathroom, but I blocked his path. He had no choice but to run into the bathroom. I ran in after him and kicked the door shut behind me. Ha! I said, there is nowhere to run now. I was just about to attack the stoat when he said,
Oh, please don't kill me. I have a family.
well, I stopped and looked the stoat straight in the eye. Well, you're terrorizing my neighbors.
I'm trying to collect food so my wife and babies don't starve.
You can find food outside.
Oh, please, have mercy.
Please, I thought for a moment. I would do anything for Poe and my family, and he was just trying to feed his. Okay, I said, I'll let you live, but promise me one thing. You will never come back to this house again. You can live in the big oak tree across the street.
Thank you.
He ran towards a small hole in the wall and disappeared outside. I ran back into the kitchen and led Poe and Mom and Lucy and Dana back to the hole so they could see where the stoat had entered. Dana and Mom talked for a few minutes while Poe and Lucy petted me.
Okay, Peanut, time to go home.
Bye, Peanut.
When we got home, Poe took off my harness and I ran and I jumped on the couch. That night, everybody celebrated me and gave me lots of pets. Soon, it was time for bed. I climbed into bed with Poe and curled up beside her so she could cuddle me. She kissed me on the forehead and said,
You did a great thing today, Peanut. Good night. I love you.
I was proud of myself too, and I snuggled in closer to Poe to let her know that I loved her too. The end.
Great job.
All right. Poe, I don't know where you're at. Where's Poe?
Yay,
Great
Poe.
job. You did a wonderful job. Some of my favorite things about this story is I love how you added in the fact of a dog's smell is 10,000 to 100 times 1,000 more sensitive than a human's. It was a fun fact, but also really supportive of your story, and I enjoyed that. I also loved how you told the story from Peanut's point of view. Your language and descriptions were just right, and I loved reading the story from this lens. I also really, the story overall was just really well written, so good job with that, and it had a perfect beginning, middle, and end, so well done with that. Some questions that I was left with is, I was just curious if this was a real story about your dog. It is, yeah. I love that. And, you know, just the inspiration behind the story. Did this actually happen? Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Love it. Awesome. And I was also just curious, was the intention of bringing Peanut over to the house to catch the stoat, or did it just kind of happen that way? That was something that I was left wondering. And then I did love how it ended, though, with the stoat going back to his family. That was a good, happy ending. So, great job.
Dragons versus Kids by Isabel.
December 1st, 2116. It's 4 a.m. on the planet Mars. It was dark, and the only thing you could see was the red moon on the ocean. Marmalade, Rosie, and Jimmy John were best friends and had grown up on Mars. They were part of the Earth's moving party to live on Mars. Everything on Mars was going as planned. Until today. Rosie got up as planned to sneak out to the beach with her friends. Rosie whispered,
Marmalade, Marmalade, are you up? No. Okay, it's time to wake up. No. Jimmy John. Jimmy. Jimmy. Wake up.
Shh, we're trying to be quiet.
Are you two ready?
No.
The three were eventually moving along, heading toward the ocean.
Why is it so quiet, Rosie?
Huh? I don't know.
Hey, listen. Do you hear that?
No. Hear what?
Yeah, what?
Immediately, the ground started to tremble and crack, and bam! 1 million stinky, hungry dragons shot out of the ground. Jimmy let out a blood-curdling scream.
Where did Jimmy go? He must have fallen down the hole left by the dragons. He must have fallen down the hole left by the dragons. Ew. Oh. Rosie, can you please control your pet dino?
He's cute, isn't he?
Ugh.
It was Hot Dog, Rosie's pet dino. He was behind them, and his hot, fiery breath was slobbering all over them.
Oh, I love this guy. Don't you love him?
Oh, no. We have more important things to worry about right now. Like where Jimmy is.
Yeah, probably.
Suddenly, everything froze. A giant clock shot out of the ocean, displaying 1 hour to live. Rosie freaked out when a message appeared. The message read, "Find the dragon eye and break it. Then all things will return to normal." The dragon eye is a lime-colored rock that has the poison that will kill the dragons. Once you destroy the dragon eye, you will destroy the dragons. Rosie started to pace back and forth.
Do you have a dragon
She didn't know what to do or where to look for the dragon eye.
Do you have it here? No.
The girls started to look for the dragon eye around the hole left by the dragons.
Yeah, maybe it could be there.
No luck. But as they were searching, Rosie stepped on something sharp.
What was that I just stepped on?
Rosie lifts her foot to find a small, sharp piece of lime-colored glass. Suddenly, she got an idea. She called Hot Dog and told him to dig a hole in the sand where she found the piece of glass. Hot Dog immediately starts to dig and dig.
Wait, what's that? Is that the dragon eye?
Oh my gosh.
Marmalade hops down into the hole where Hot Dog had been digging and raises a large football-shaped lime-colored rock.
It's got to be the dragon eye gem.
The two friends were so excited they found the gem. Quickly, look to see how much time is left. With a minute to spare, they search for something to smash the gem on. Marmalade looks over toward the hole.
Oh, hey, over there, by the crack in the ground, there's a large jagged rock. We could smash it on there.
Great idea.
They watched as they look up to see the dragons flying above evaporate into nothing. And the hole begins to close. All of a sudden, they see a hand reaching out. They run over and grab the hand and help pull out Jimmy. Fortunately, Jimmy hadn't fallen all the way in the hole. He'd been stuck on the ledge trying to climb out. The three friends were finally reunited. Together, they let out a huge sigh of relief. Everything went back to normal. Living on Mars isn't easy, but today they had a happily ever after ending. From that day on, whenever the friends would walk on the beach, Hot Dog would dig looking for another dragon eye. The end.
That's by Isabel. Where's Isabel? Hi, Isabel. I kind of like the funny names, Marmalade and Hot Dog. That was fun. And really imaginative was the giant clock coming up and the message coming up out of the ocean. 1 hour to live. I enjoyed that a lot. I'd like to have learned a little more about Hot Dog the dino. Where did the dino come from? They left the house and they were heading down to the beach, and all of a sudden there's a dino. I'd like to know if heard when and where dino Hot Dog showed up. And what did the dragons do after they emerged from the hole in the ground? Did they fly around? Did they attack something? Did they breathe fire? Was kind of interested to think about, okay, what were these dragons doing? But it was a fun story. And if you write it a little longer, you can add some more details, embellish it some more, and enjoy messing with it. Thank you. Thank you for a great job.
A million miles from the amazing brains of Emily and Cora.
September 6, 2022, 6:46 p.m.
I taste blood in my mouth. Everything is black. I peel my eyes open and I look around, but all I see is my dad's dead body floating in a pool of blood. I feel myself go limp, and then everything goes black again.
September 6, 5:22 a.m.
Beep, beep, beep.
Ugh, my alarm clock jolts me awake. I had it set for 3 hours earlier than I needed to. My ginormous bag is already packed. I'm dragging it down the stairs, thumping it against walls as I pull it with all my strength. My dad's not awake yet, but he'll be up soon, and I want to be ready for him. I go to the bathroom and I brush my teeth. While I'm brushing, I glance at my round face in the mirror. I look at my wavy brunette hair and my two beautiful mismatched eyes, one green and one brown. That's me, Emerald Brown, Emmy for short. I am so excited because today my dad got his pilot's license and he's taking me to London. I've always wanted to go. I'd try their famous fish and chips, visit the British Museum, and meet the one and only Queen of England. But now I finally get to go. I spit out the extra toothpaste and grab my hairbrush. I brush and I brush and I brush, but the brush gets caught in my hair, like always. Well, my usual tactic is yanking it as hard as I can, but it doesn't work, and it pulls out some of my hair. How lucky am I to have this head of hair? I take the brush in my left hand and my big ball of tangled hair in the other, and I rip one hair at a time into the bristles and out. Finally, I get all my hair out of the brush, set it down far away from me so that clingy monster won't stick to me again. I look into the mirror. My hair is tousled and tangled in one big ball, like a family of mice or birds could live in it. I decided not to brush my hair anymore. No one's gonna see it anyway. I'll be miles above their heads. Whew, that was a crazy adventure, but I can't wait for the one that's actually planned today.
September 6, 5:31 a.m.
I head to the kitchen and I grab a bowl and some Frosted Flakes and some milk. I eat slowly so my dad will have time to catch up. He's not even downstairs yet. Can you believe it? The most exciting day of our lives, and he hasn't even woken up. I finish my cereal and put my bowl in the dishwasher. I prance into the living room and plop on the couch. I search for the remote in the endless layers of couch cushions until I finally find it deeply buried in the couch. I turn on the TV and go to my favorite show. Ooh, Peppa the Pig.
September 6, 6:03 a.m.
Dad finally comes downstairs in his bathrobe, rubbing his eyes. Dad, what took you so long?
Why are you already up?
Are you kidding me? I've been up since 5:22, 16 seconds, 83.196 milliseconds, 2,007,902, 475 nanoseconds.
Jeez.
Well, technically I've also been waiting for you for 18 trillion and one attoseconds, but I decided that would be too much for your lazy brain to process.
Wow. Did you forget I'm taking you to London today? You're not respecting your elders, Miss Sassy Pants' daughter.
Well, sorry, but it's just the truth, and you always told me not to lie. I think I finally got to him because he rolled his eyes and went to go make coffee. You lazy bum, you don't need coffee.
Well, if I don't have my coffee, we will crash. But I suppose it might be nice to not have a daughter yelling at me for once.
Well, I think it would be great to not have a dad for a little bit too. Or a lot.
Well, we'll see.
Ugh. Well, I leave and go sit in the passenger seat of the plane. We live right next to the little airport where my dad keeps it. I sit and wait for that big jerk to come outside and drive this dumb plane, aka a giant flying bus, all the way to London.
September 6, 6:19 a.m.
I've been waiting in this plane for, and I'm gonna be nice this time, 16 minutes. And Dad still hasn't come out of the house yet. I set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes. If he doesn't come out by then, I'm going back in and dragging his booty out here, even if he hasn't brushed his teeth yet.
September 6, 6:24 a.m.
Ding-a-ling-a, ding-a-ling-a, ding-a-ling-a.
My timer goes off. I hop out of the plane and go back inside, and I see Dad sitting on a stool in the kitchen, scrolling through his phone. A strange, upbeat tune wafts out of the room, and Dad's shoulders are swaying side to side, up and down. Dad! Get off your phone and stop dancing! Hurry up, or I'm flying this plane all by myself.
Okay, you can't do that.
Yeah, I can. Just, please hurry.
Okay, fine.
All right. He goes upstairs to brush his teeth. Yeah, and hurry!
I know.
Like I'm telling him to wash the dishes or something. I stand in the middle of the kitchen with my arms crossed over my chest, waiting for him to be done.
September 6, 6:31 a.m.
My mom just came down the stairs. We were supposed to be gone before she woke up. Then she tells me that we need to pack snacks. So I go and find a bag. I pack some energy bars, some fruit snacks, some goldfish, some Ritz crackers, a couple juice boxes for me and Dad to share. And I snuck a Girl Scout cookies too. I sit back on the couch and stare at my beautiful show, Peppa Pig.
September 6, 7:02 a.m.
We finally got on the plane. It has been 45 minutes and some seconds, I'm not gonna count, but we're finally ready to take off. Except for one thing. Dad has to check the engine and wings and all that jazz. How long is that gonna take?
About 5 minutes or so.
Great, 50 minutes until we take off. So I lean back in the seat and wait for Dad to finish. I look up through the window. It's a perfect day for a trip to London. No sign of storms whatsoever. The only thing that could stop us is if the engine malfunctioned. And he's checking the engine anyway, so there isn't gonna be a problem. And if there was, we wouldn't go, but there won't be.
September 6, 7:07 a.m.
Now, we're both strapped in, ready for real this time. Dad presses this huge green button, and the plane starts moving forward. Faster and faster until the wheels lift off the ground, and we're in the air. Yippee! London and Queen Elizabeth, here we come.
September 6, 7:17 a.m.
Are we there yet? It's been quintillion hours.
It's been 10 minutes.
That's impossible.
Well, it's true.
Has to be at least 10 hours. We'll never get there.
Yes, we will. Don't be such a pessimist.
I unbuckle my seat and go to the bathroom in the back of the plane.
September 6, 7:23 a.m.
When I get back, Dad has a worried look on his face, and he keeps looking at the dashboard. I run back to my seat and buckle up. What's happening? What's wrong?
No, honey, it's fine. It's okay.
Dad, what's going on? Are we gonna like crash or something?
No, it's nothing. Just that the GPS broke. I don't know which way to go.
What? So we're just flying in endless circles?
No, we're going to guess.
Guess? That's the worst idea I've ever heard. Ugh. I look out the window and stare at the endless mass of blue. If we do get lost, at least I can look up at this beautiful blue sky.
September 6, 11:08 a.m.
It's been 4 hours and 1 minute since we took off from Boston. When I look out the window, we're over a bright turquoise sea. It looks like the Bahamas, but it can't be because we're going to northeast London, not south. Well, I mean, that's what we think. The GPS is still broken, so I have no idea where we're heading. But Dad said everything will be fine, so I'm just going to assume we're going the right way, because the only thing everything will be fine is if we're going the right way, straight to London.
September 6, 4:11 p.m.
We're almost there.
Yay! I look out the window and expect to see the Buckingham Palace or Big Ben or Tower Bridge, but I don't. I see a vast sea of tropical trees, hundreds of feet tall. Dad, this isn't London.
Of course it is.
Okay, if you're so sure, then look out the window. His face goes pale as he looks over the green tops of the trees. Dad refreshes his GPS and the little blue dot pops up, dead center of the Amazon rainforest.
We'll just turn around.
Half a second later, we hear a loud, ear-splitting alarm that blares through the plane. I plug my ears and jump.
Don't worry, it means nothing. It will shut up soon.
Not for a minute, not for 2, not for 5.
Oh no.
What? Are we gonna die?
That's nothing, just be quiet. I need to focus.
My legs are shaking with fear.
September 6, 4:37 p.m.
The plane starts sputtering and shaking. The sputtering gets louder and louder and louder, and then terrible, horrid silence. Silence like a bird that slams into a window and falls. There is no movement, not from me, Dad, or the plane. We're hovering in midair like a giant statue. Then I feel it. The last thing anyone would want to feel. The plane dropping to the ground, but not for landing. We scream. I cover my head as the plane torpedoes out of control towards the hard forest ground. I brace myself as the nose of the plane crashes through the dents of the trees and strikes the ground. Everything goes black.
September 6, 8:13 p.m.
I open my eyes again. The sky is dark, full of stars, but the stars look like they're suffering. Smoke's curling up from the plane and I'm still in it. I get up on all fours. I wince, a sharp pain sting me. My legs, my spine, my arms, my whole body hurts. I look at Dad. His eyes are glazed over. His face, pale as snow. His face is wrinkled, torn, and bruised. I stared at him, wishing there was something in there. The person that I've loved my whole life is gone. I give Dad one more kiss on the forehead before I scurry out of the back of the plane and lie back down. Everything aches. I close my eyes again. The forest sounds around me spook me. There are hisses, growls, and sounds of thunder in the sky. The clouds crack open and thousands of raindrops cover my skin. It feels good on my cuts, but right now I can't do anything but sleep.
September 7th, 12:09 a.m.
I wake up. The rain has stopped. I look around and wonder what woke me up. There's nothing here. So I lie back down and start to fall asleep. But then I hear it.
Hello?
Dad? But I know it can't be. He's lying over there lifeless in the plane. I turn around and there's a silhouette near a tree. Even though it's dark, I could see that it's a mysterious figure. It's not human, standing on 4 legs.
No, I'm not your dad.
Huh.
I saw what happened when you guys landed over there. Not the best landing.
Well, who are you?
Oh, my name is Sir Funny Guy, but you can call me Fun Guy.
Pretty weird name. You're not a mushroom, are you? Well, what are you? A jaguar? Jaguars can't talk. No, this must be my imagination. I crashed to the ground in a plane after all. I have a concussion. This is a dream. Jaguar comes over to me and nudges me with his head. Whoa. Okay, definitely real. How can he be talking? I hear another voice, but this one's squeaky and excited.
Hello?
Hi, what are you doing here? What's your name?
My name is Squeakers McSqueakerson.
Then it began asking questions.
Where did you even come from? What are you? Oh, you're not one of those human thingies, are you? I bet you are. I'm not. I'm a Lagothrix Lagothrica, or a woolly monkey.
Jeez, give her some time to catch up to you.
Whew. Well, I came from an airplane that crashed into the ground. My name is Emmy Brown. And yes, I am one of those human thingies. And it's very cool that you are a woolly monkey.
Wow.
Yeah. Squeaker stares at me in awe. I stare back. In the dim light, I can see he has a long tail and stubby little ears. He's definitely a monkey. As I'm sitting there in the lush Amazon rainforest, staring at a talking monkey and talking to a jaguar, another voice appears from the bushes.
So you came from there, from the sky?
I look over and the creature is pointing up to the sky. I can tell it's a snake because it has no legs and it's pointing up with its tail instead of a paw or finger. It's talking with long S's like that. How many more talking animals are in the rainforest? Lots?
Oh, lots.
Oh, great. So great.
Anyways, my name is Steve.
Oh.
Or maybe it's Samuel or Simon.
Okay.
No, I think it's Spencer.
No. It's Nigel, you scatterbrain. I think you just like to say your S's.
Oh, yes. Maybe I do.
Of course.
No. Why, oh why, would you want to leave this amazing rainforest? Why don't you want to stay here? We'll be able to play and have so much fun. I've never met a human before and I really would love to play.
I would too, but I really need to see my mom. I miss her. And I know playing with you would be really fun, but the Amazon is no place for a human like me.
Okay, fine.
So, where do you live? Oh, I see. Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes, that is where I live. Except where we come from, we say it more like Boston, Massachusetts.
And where is this Boston-chusetts?
Well, it's about 3,000 miles away from here.
That's a lot of miles. At least I think it is. I don't know what a mile is.
Well, let's get going.
All right, well, I grab my backpack, and although I'm in a lot of pain, nothing can stop me from getting back to my mom. So we walk, and the sun slowly rises until the sky is bright enough for me to see all the trees and growth around me. They are slightly wet as I brush past them. They cover me in a soft, damp blanket of dew. 3 animals walk, slither, and swing through the forest ahead of me, and I follow cautiously in case another, talking animal, or worse, a venomous one, jumps out at me. We walk and we walk and we walk through the trees for hours, what it seems.
September 7th, 4:17 p.m.
After we walked for what it felt like 1,000 miles, we're stopped by a long, curving, crashing river that looked like it was gonna grab you by your ankles and gobble you up. Definitely not a nice-looking river. I stand and stare at it. Holy guacamole, how are we gonna cross this thing? But strangely, the animals kept walking. I stop in my tracks and watch them carefully. They're crossing a long log that had fallen over the river. They all walk and slither swiftly across. I cannot do that.
What are you waiting for? Come on!
I can't. I don't know how.
You'll be fine. You just hop on the log, don't fall off, and shimmy straight on over.
Yeah, about that. I'm a little worried about step number 2.
No, silly. It's so easy. We all did it.
You've got this!
All right, well, because they were all so encouraging and believed in me, I tried, but very cautiously. I stepped onto the log. It's a little slippery, but I think I'll be fine. I slowly talk myself through the steps in my head. Step, 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 whoa, whoa, balance, arms out, steady, step, step, whew. Only a few steps to go. I steady myself, and I am certain I will make it to the other side. When I'm just about to touch the ground on the other side of the river, something shiny catches my attention out of the corner of my eye. It's a small fish. I gasp, and suddenly my feet slip from out underneath me. I feel a soft hand try to grab my arm. Squeakers. But he's too weak. I slip from his grasp and get pulled into the river. I frantically kick my feet and wave my arms, but it's no use. The current is strong. I feel like a monster eating me up. I try to keep my head above the surface, but water fills my mouth and nose. I slip under the surface and disappear. The current keeps pulling me downriver. Just as I think I'm going to run out of breath completely, I feel myself slam into a rock, and my whole body goes limp. Everything goes black.
To be continued, or not. We don't know. You better hope it will be.
The end. Second season.
Emily and Cora, where are you?
Stand up. What a world. Woo, woo.
I thought the time stamps at the beginning of each little story segment were fairly effective to show short periods and then longer periods of time. Yeah, those are good. And the clear images of a very impatient young girl wanting to get going in the morning, and the exasperation with her slowpoke dad. Those are a lot of fun, and the imaginative depictions of the talking animals and their personalities. I'd like to have seen a little more about the personality of Jaguar. Jaguar had several things to say, but there wasn't much about his personality as opposed to the quirky, squeaky squeakers, but either whatever.
I like your
Yeah,
squeakerson.
anyway. And the sibilant snake. Yes. And of course, the question we all have: what happens next?
Yes.
I hope you do right. The next chapter.
Yes.
Thank you. Great job.
School Life with Brothers and Sisters by Haley. The new kids at school.
Meet the Andrew kids, excited for a new school year. There are two brothers, Jack, Alan, and twins, sisters Annie and Ariel. The twins woke up first and put on dresses, and soon the boys were up to get on t-shirts and blue jeans. They were all excited for a special breakfast of waffles, hash browns, and whipped cream. It really made Ariel happy because it's her favorite. Dad was busy making lunches for everyone. He made noodles with red sauce and packed it into their thermos for a hot lunch. It was an unusual lunch they did not expect, so they were wondering, why the special lunch? When they asked about it, they were excited to learn that there were 3 new kids coming to their school today.
New kids? Great!
The kids packed up their backpacks and loaded into the car, calling out to their dad as Mom drove them off to school.
Bye, we love you.
After arriving at school and kissing Mom goodbye, the Andrew kids walked into their second day at school. They were wondering about who were these new kids and what were they like. As Annie and Ariel walked to their lockers, Annie accidentally bumped into the new girl, Wendy, knocking her books to the ground.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I'm Annie. What's your name?
I'm Wendy.
Oh, we have some snacks.
Me too. Oh, my brother John is here too.
As they walked, Wendy shared something troubling.
There's another new girl, Ruby. She's mean. She took candy from me and laughed about it.
That's awful.
Soon, Ariel joined them, and the 3 girls went to science class. Unfortunately, Ruby was in their class. She shot a spitball at Wendy and laughed.
Hey, that's not nice.
Why?
At lunch, things got worse. Annie and Ariel sat together, and soon Wendy and John joined them at the table. But then suddenly, Ruby walked up.
Can I sit here?
Sure, I guess so.
Ruby sat down and started to say an apology for the spitball earlier, and then said,
Sorry. Not.
She grabbed Wendy's lunch and walked away.
That's so mean.
Then, things got out of control. All the kids started playing tag. Food got spilled, and suddenly, a food fight broke out. When the principal walked in, the cafeteria was a mess. Everyone involved got detention and had to clean up the mess. The Andrews felt bad about getting into trouble. They also lost most of their recess because it took a lot of time to clean up the mess.
A tough week.
When they got home, they were sent to their rooms and had dinner there. The kids felt terrible. That night, they prayed and hoped the next day would be better. None of them slept well that night, knowing the trouble they were in. The next morning, the kids explained everything.
Ruby was being mean. She fired a spitball at Wendy and laughed about it at lunch. Then things got out of control. The principal walked in after the mess. She never even knew what started it all.
It helped that Mom made pancakes with whipped cream and hash browns. It was pizza day for lunch, which is a good thing to look forward to. Dad drove them to school so he could talk to the principal.
What will happen?
Their dad spoke with Principal Ella. Principal Ella was not happy that the Andrews kids had been rude, caused a mess in the cafeteria, and started a food fight. He explained what happened with Ruby. The principal listened carefully. Principal Ella assured him that the kids could earn her trust back. Meanwhile, Ruby didn't stop being mean. At lunch, when they were eating pizza, she threw paint-filled water balloons at the kids. Blue paint splashed all over Wendy's face. Wendy's face turned blue. Kids laughed and called her Smurf. That hurt even more. Ruby threw more balloons filled with different colors. The kids reacted by pouring water over Ruby's head. Ruby cried, but everyone got in trouble again. The principal gave everyone a week's detention.
Not fair.
At home, parents tried to wash off the paint. It was hard to remove and wouldn't come off easily. Both parents of the kids called the principal to learn that Ruby did start the problem, and a teacher who had been there in the cafeteria confirmed it. The Andrew kids weren't in serious trouble because they didn't start the fight. Still, it had been a stressful week when Wendy's family made a big decision. Her parents called the principal and said they were thinking about leaving the school and going to a private school, Steamboat Christian Academy. But the principal begged them to stay. She promised to handle Ruby. She suggested that Ruby would be expelled for what she had done. The new friend needed a break, so they had a sleepover that night at the Andrew house. It was a great night, and everyone got the rest they needed to go back to school the next day. But Ruby was still there. She was, however, packing her things. Later, the principal contacted both moms and told them that she had decided not to expel Ruby, but she will stay after school to work with an emotional counselor to help her with her problems.
Break.
Both families decided a small break could help everyone. The Andrews were planning a weekend in Arizona at Lake Havasu for their mom's birthday at their grandparents'. They invited Wendy and John to come along. It was a great trip for all, with a swimming pool, bunk beds at night, and a birthday celebration for Mrs. Andrew. On Monday, they returned to school. Everyone was wondering the same thing. What had happened to Ruby? Why had she become such a bully, and would the counseling help? You will have to wait to find out. The end.
Haley, you want to stand up? Good job. All right, Haley, I really loved how I could just feel the emotion layered into your story. It really pulled me in and kept me engaged, and the ending did leave me wanting to know more. I loved how you talked about Ruby going to emotional counseling, and it sounds like a great first step for her to work towards healing herself and not hurting other people. So I liked that a lot. Some things that I was left questioning were just where you got the inspiration for this story, since there was so much emotion in it. And why was Ruby acting so mean and being a bully? I was wanting to know more behind her why and how she got to the point of being so hurtful and mean to other people. But overall, you did an amazing job. Great story.
Attack on the Mayflower by Hallie.
My name is Brianna. I'm 12 years old, and I survived the attack on the Mayflower. I had just set out for New England on the new ship, the Mayflower, in November of 1620. I woke up one night to screams and cries on the deck of the ship.
Brianna, help, help!
I jumped up quickly, tossed on my slippers, threw on my coat, rushed out the door and slammed it behind me. I looked out over the railing of the upper deck as I scanned the lower deck and saw many dead bodies. I saw something out of the corner of my eye. At first, I thought it was just a tear falling from my cheek, but I was wrong. As it approached me, every step gave me more and more goosebumps. Then I looked to my side. Oh, man! A bloody man! He looked like he had just fought a tiger and bravely won!
Oh, follow me, Brianna.
How does he know my name? I clenched my fists. He led me down to the lower deck. He got on his hands and knees and felt the floor with his hands until he found a hidden latch. Slowly, he opened it and then swung it fully open. He waved for me to follow him. He climbed down the ladder into the dark abyss. I scanned the deck around me and squeezed the stuffed cat my dad had gotten me on my 4th birthday. The last time I saw him before he left me and my mom. Then I climbed down after him. Inside, it looked like a nice old-timey place. I could hear jazz music in the distance. So I followed it. And soon I found 4 women, 2 of whom were pregnant, and a couple of old men. One was asleep and holding a shotgun. The other had a toothpick in his mouth and was wearing a sparkly purple jumper. Where are we and who are you? I asked as I looked at the man I had followed.
Fun fact, I'm your dad.
What?
Yeah, funny fact, right? Shh, be quiet, they'll hear us.
They? Who's they? I wondered as he lay down on a couch. Then I heard it. A groan. It sounded like a zombie approaching us. Suddenly, I heard screams. Ah! A green man-like creature was attacking one of the women with white foam coming out of its mouth. Without even thinking, I grabbed the shotgun from the sleeping man's hands and fired at the zombie. I ran toward the captain's quarters, located in the bunker where we were. My father stayed behind with the other people on the ship. The captain was dead, and so was the rest of the crew. The zombies were on the top deck, locked out from us below. That meant I had to steer the Mayflower to the nearest land. Soon, after we reached land, all of the survivors exited the boat through a secret passageway. I helped rescue the survivors and saved the rest of the cargo.
You done good, kid.
As he handed me a shotgun, my dad walked up and placed a hand on my shoulder as I took the gun. I don't think he knew I had set up the time bomb we had brought in case of a war in the new land. We stared into the distance as the ship, still full of zombies, began to sink after I set off the time bomb as it sailed away. And just like that, the Mayflower disappeared beneath the waves. I had a new beginning for me, my mom, my dad, like all the others starting a new life together. The end.
Okay, Hallie, where's Hallie? Hallie is not here. Okay. She's on a cruise, no doubt. Okay. Should I? Well, I'll do a few comments anyway. Okay. I like the mixed elements with the history, accurate history, the timing of the Mayflower, and then adding in fantasy. Totally fantastic stuff. And then mixing it with a modern theme of a family strife, of a family breaking up and having a reunion somehow or other. And there were some images that were particularly interesting. I liked particularly the one where looked like a guy who just fought a tiger and barely won. That was graphic. It was great. And then the old guy with a toothpick and a sparkly purple jumper. Definitely neat images. I kind of wondered, where'd Mom come from? She was mentioned once, as in years before, but then she finally shows up in the very last line. There was no mention of Mom on the ship. I'd like to have known more about what Mom was doing on the ship. And I'm kind of a boat and ship nerd, so please excuse this one. I was brought up sailing by a father who was 30 years active duty Navy. So I kind of wondered, how does Brianna steer and run this ship from below deck? So I'd like to have learned how she did that. There's got to be a story in that somewhere. Thank you, Hallie, and let's move on to the next one.
Cursed Love by Dolores.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess named Princess Alexandra. The princess sat at a big round table in the great hall. She was drinking a potion given to her by the promise to make her amazingly beautiful. She didn't know that the potion would do anything to her. Little did she know that the commoner who given it to her was trying to create a curse upon her and her beauty with the hope it might prevent her from becoming queen. She walked into the room in the tower and started to put on her gown when she noticed small green patterns appearing on her skin. They slowly eased out of her arms and turned into vines. The vines started to sprout leaves and crawl up her arms. She tried to cover them up, but nothing worked.
Princess!
Don't come in. I'm sick. How did this happen?
The next day.
The patterns had almost cleared, but only 3 of the vines had gone away. The princess put on her baby pink gown and long sleeves and stepped into the mirror.
Okay, no vines showing. Good.
A few days later, Alexandra received a copy of the news. The heir of the Ash family, Prince Damien, has stolen gold and riches from the Queen of the Water Kingdom. She looked down and saw the vines crawling up her ankles. Alexandra looked around her tower for something to stop them when she saw a piece of deer antler on the shelf. She grabbed it and cut the vines off. Then they stopped. The princess looked at her arms and they were gone.
Okay, well, they're gone for now.
But Alexandra had another problem to face. The prince is from an enemy kingdom and was accused of stealing. She ran down the stairs to her parents.
Mother, Father, I need to talk to both of you.
Oh,
Yes, darling.
What is it?
What is it?
I saw a prince, and I've decided I want to meet him.
Oh, yes, darling. Of course.
Who is it?
It's Prince Damien.
No! You are never to speak to that boy again.
But Mother, I just want to meet him. Is that so much to ask?
Yes, it is, because he is from an enemy kingdom.
Okay, hey, stop.
The prince lifted her skirt and started running. Into the forest, she spots a boy. She ripped off his hood to see white hair. The boy turned his head and Alexandra was shocked.
You're Prince Damien.
The prince had stared at Alexandra, then finally said,
What is your name?
My name is Alexandra. You're the one from the news.
Would you mind telling me what kingdom this is?
This is Kingdom of Earth.
Oh.
Suddenly, she felt a tickle crawl up her arm. She looked down to see the patterns starting to reappear and begin crawling. She pulled up her arms behind her back, and the dress she was wearing had an off-the-shoulder short sleeve, so she couldn't hide it. Alexandra finally relaxed her arms, and Prince Damien stared at them.
What are those?
To be honest, I don't know.
I think they bring out your natural beauty. Meet me tomorrow, same place, same time?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, but not at the same time. Come here at dawn tomorrow.
Okay, see you then.
The princess started to rush back to the palace when she remembered.
Oh, hey, you can take the berries and those things. Thank you.
Then the princess heard her mother yell.
Alexandra, what are you doing out there?
Nothing, Mother.
Alexandra slept through the night. At dawn the next morning, she shot out of bed. She threw on her purple dress, white shawl, and ran outside. The prince was standing there waiting for her.
Hello, princess. How are you this fine morning?
I'm great. So, What did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, of course. I wanted to know if you wanted to come to a royal ball at my place.
Wow, I would love to. But how would I get there? Our kingdoms are enemies. How am I even supposed to get out of the palace, much less go to a ball in the air kingdom?
Oh, well, it's at midnight.
Oh, well, my parents will be asleep by then.
Okay.
Then Prince Damien disappeared with a swish of air.
That day,
Alexandra stood in the room trying to pick a dress for the ball. She finally chose a green gown with flowers draped all around it. She found matching light gold shoes, a tiara, and a shawl.
that night,
Alexandra left her palace. The Air Kingdom was the neighboring kingdom and was very close. When Alexandra got to the palace, she was amazed about how beautiful it was. A courtyard with trees that had white leaves and small clouds that drifted up to the entrance surrounding it. Princess Alexandra stepped on a cloud and was surprised to find herself perfectly sturdy on it and not falling through. When she walked into the palace, she saw a huge, great hall and a big ballroom next to it. As she walked into the ballroom, she looked around and spotted Prince Damien. The prince looked at her and walked up.
Hello, princess. Thank you for coming. Oh, why don't you meet the king and queen of the Air Kingdom?
So your parents?
Yeah.
The prince and princess walked to the king and queen.
Mother, father, I would like you to meet Princess Alexandra, the heir of the Earth Kingdom. And I would like to ask you for your blessing in marriage.
Damien, I just want to make sure this is what you want.
Yes, mother, this is what I want. Will you marry me?
Yes! Yes!
Princess Alexandra and Prince Damien walked to the middle of the ballroom and started to dance. As they were dancing, Princess Alexandra felt vines and patterns cuff her arms and legs and neck. She felt them circle around her face. She felt leaves sprout and then something new. She looked at her arms and saw flowers sprouting out of the vines. Prince Damien grabbed her in his arms and tried to help her hide it. After a few seconds, Alexandra accepted her fate. She thought she would never get to marry Prince Damien because of this stupid curse. She nudged Prince Damien and he relaxed his arms. She walked up to his parents, horrified.
I'm so sorry. I should have told you.
Damien's mother cut her off.
Darling, you don't have to be sorry. We don't care if you have a curse. We only care if you love our son and if he loves you. You're an amazing girl, and we would be happy to be your parents if you want it.
Alexandra looked at Damien, then his parents.
Yes.
The end.
All right, Dolly, there you are. Dolly, a few things I really enjoyed about your story. Well, it's starting with the descriptions, that and the names at the beginning. That was a great way to start. Reading it from my end, I really loved that. It helped me have a better picture for the story. And I also really love your writing style. I feel like it felt more like a script for a play, and then that made it really fun to read, and then seeing it play out in real life, that was just really fun, and you did a really good job with that. A few of the questions and things that I was left wanting to know more about was why she was cursed. Did she do something bad to someone else? Was it jealousy? And why did someone else, that commoner, not want her to be queen? And also, why was Prince Damien just in the courtyard immediately after she asked her parents about him? He just appeared like magic. And how and why did he just immediately show up? So, but I'm sure if you had the opportunity to write a longer story, those questions would be answered. So, amazing job. You did a really wonderful story.
Where I Belong by Elia.
You know how some people think magic isn't real? I was one of those people until February 18th, 2026.
February 6th, 2026.
I woke up with a start as my 7-year-old brother James pounded on his toy drums and screamed in a sing-songy voice throughout the hall upstairs.
Get up, it's the first day of new school, new school.
I jumped out of my bed, my eyes still droopy from the terrible night of sleep I had after thinking about all the things that could go wrong at my new school, Strawberry Park Elementary in Steamboat Springs. James, stop it! I tried to scream, but all that came out were a few tired, quiet words. James either did not hear me or was ignoring me because he kept playing his loud music without an answer. After a while, he ran over and slammed his hands against our parents' bedroom door. They came out with a stern look. They were annoyed that James had been waking them up loudly. James looked down at his toes with an embarrassed look. We all headed downstairs to eat breakfast. After that, we got into our mom's big yellow truck and headed off to school. You know, I thought I was going to have a great day today because I love science, and I have science twice a day. But no, it was not a good day. Actually, it was a horrible day. I arrived at school and I headed off to science. But when I got in, I noticed how gruffed everybody looked. I sat down at a desk next to the boy with the green mohawk and ripped shorts and shirt. He leaned over me, his breath smelling like rotten bananas.
What's your name, little girl?
Phoebe?
Phoebe, huh?
Yes?
Well, Phoebe, you better watch out.
I gulped. The entire class looked at me and burst into laughter.
Phoebe, get up here now.
Yes, Mr.
Mr. Squats.
I guess the kids aren't the only mean ones at school. I was ordered to introduce myself, so I did, but I didn't say much. And then the rest of the day went pretty much like that until lunchtime. I was called down to the office, but when they called my name, they said my dad had to pick me up, and everybody started laughing and pointing at me. I dashed out of the cafeteria at the speed of light and bolted toward my dad. I hugged him, but it wasn't him. He had a faint smell of apples and toast. But my dad had a strong smell of brown sugar and wood cleaner. I quickly looked up to see a tall, bulky man with huge muscles and a long curly mustache. This is definitely not my dad. You're not my dad. But then he just ignored me and acted like I wasn't even there. So I quickly turned my head to the Principal Jane, and shouted, "This is not my dad! Please believe me!" She did not answer either. I was surprised because when James and my mom walked into school, Principal Jane seemed to be the most amazing and nicest principal I had ever seen in my entire life. Apparently, she could not hear me. I instantly thought, I'm in a dream. I'm in a dream. Calm down, Phoebe. And I wiggled and wiggled and wiggled around, but I could not wake up. Oh. After a long, long time of standing in the principal's office, the strange man grabbed my elbow, and in a blink of an eye, we started walking outside quietly to the parking lot. I was so worried. I just wanted to wake up. But then I saw a gleaming black limo. I thought that was such a fancy car. It would go great with a really fancy guy, just like the guy who was slowly walking us to the fancy car, holding my skinny arm. When I noticed this, I knew this was no dream, but what I didn't know was where I was going to be taken to.
February 7th.
You might be guessing that I went away in that fancy car with that fancy guy, and yes, I did. You may think it's scary, but you're wrong. I know this guy may seem evil and all, but I know he's not trying to kidnap random kids. Oh, and right now I'm locked in a very small rusty cage. Don't worry about me. The weird fancy guy is feeding me and giving me water. And I've read a bunch of books about kids who are kidnapped and their parents always find them. So, and I think my parents will find me too.
February 11th.
I woke up slowly at 9:10 a.m. and the very first thing I heard is footsteps. I knew it was not only the man because there were way too many footstep patterns for one person. I wondered who it could be. I thought it was probably just other people that were related to the kidnapper, but it wasn't. 4 kids turned around the corner, 2 girls, one with wavy black hair and ocean blue eyes, and one with red-brown hair. Then 2 boys, one with short blonde hair and the other with short dark brown hair. They walked right up to the cage with their arms crossed.
Hi, I'm George. That's Cade.
And then immediately the girl with red-brown hair exclaimed,
Hi, I'm Sadie, and this is Felicia.
For a few seconds, I stared at the kids, speechless.
You gonna answer?
Yes, I blurted out. I'm Phoebe. Now, why are you here?
We're here for you.
Oh, Felicia responded with a look on her face that told me she was getting impatient, but I didn't care. So I just kept on talking and explained unworriedly. Wait, to get me away from a kidnapper? But the guy you guys are thinking about isn't a kidnapper. Listen, 8 of my cousins were kidnapped, and that guy is definitely not a kidnapper if I ever saw one. Felicia, Cade, Sadie, and George all looked at me like I was crazy until George held up a wanted poster of the same guy who was currently keeping me prisoner. The poster said he had kidnapped 56 kids in his entire life. Oh.
Yeah, who's the smart one now?
I looked at him with a frustrated look. Well, fine. I guess this all has to be true, but I just feel something good about Sir Macalac. But I'll come with you.
Who's Sir Macalac?
Yeah. Look at the poster. So we looked at the poster, and sure enough, there was a little text under his real name, Bobby Kit, and the nickname said Sir Macalac.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Come on, we have to go.
Okay, let's go. So Sadie quickly unlocked the cage with a bobby pin, and I joined the others. We all ran off towards the middle of town, where we found a small abandoned store and went inside, and we lived there together. But then I suddenly realized, wait, why can't we just walk around? We don't have to be inside. But a few moments after I said that, it started to lightly rain. And then a few more seconds after that, it began to pour. Never mind. We stayed in the abandoned store for 2 more nights. Then, out of nowhere, panic hit me. Wait, where are my parents? Oh, we haven't heard about them on the news. Do they even want me? I think they hate me. I don't think they want me back. I just screamed and sobbed for nearly an hour.
Don't worry.
Oh.
I bet they're coming. Maybe we just missed them on the radio, or they haven't been announced on the news yet.
Me too.
Okay, you're right. So we just stayed a few more days.
February 13th.
My 4 new friends and I traveled further down into town, searching for a new home, after discovering bee nests and rodents in the old store. But on the way, we saw something unbelievable. A massive school towered in front of us, easily the size of 12 8-story buildings combined. We stared up in shock and read the sign, School of Science, Vermont. Oh, well, this is Vermont. After a long moment, we finally snapped out of it. We spotted a perfect little abandoned house. We went inside, cautiously checking for animals and mold. Nothing. It was clean, safe, and for once, peaceful. So we stayed there.
February 14th.
Felicia, Sadie, Cade, and George and I weren't just sitting around. We were researching about the school we had found. We had never heard of a school focused only on one subject. How is a school just for science even legal?
I don't know. It's all so weird.
Wait, guys.
Look at this.
What do you see?
What? Kate pointed to a tiny article written in cursive, and this is what stood out.
This is no ordinary school. It is a magic school, and only those with magic can see it.
What? Does that mean we have magic?
I guess.
Okay, that night we crawled into our sleeping bags, the ones Felicia had carried with us since the day she and the others ran away from home. We were exhausted, but there was no way we could sleep. We stayed up all night just thinking, did we really want to go to that school? I knew my answer. I didn't think my parents were coming for me, and then tears started dripping down my face as I thought about it, but no one said anything. We were all just lost in our own thoughts. By morning, we had made a decision. We were going.
The plan.
Sadie would distract the principal. Cade would sneak in and add our names to the school system. It was risky, the biggest trouble any of us had ever caused, but it felt worth it. The next day, we put the plan into action. It took us 40 minutes just to find the school again, but when we saw the towering building, we knew we had made it.
February 17th.
Sadie slowly opened the door and scanned the room. Almost immediately, she spotted a man with a name tag.
Hello, I am Principal Blake.
She rushed over and tapped his shoulder.
Young lady, what are you doing here? You do not attend this school. Leave immediately.
Instead of answering, she started dancing.
I love unicorns and rainbows and lollipops, yummy lollipops. Woo!
Principal Blake just stared at her, clearly annoyed. Outside, the rest of us watched through the window, trying not to laugh. After a few seconds, Sadie glanced back and gave Cade a signal. Cade slipped quietly inside, moving silently toward the principal's desk. He opened the computer and carefully typed in all of our names. Then he slipped back outside. Sadie suddenly stopped dancing.
Well, my mom's waiting. Bye.
What?
We giggled, but quickly fell silent as we watched Principal Blake turn to his computer. Had it worked? After reading the screen, he rushed into another office. We followed and listened from the outside.
Annie, check your computer. We have new students starting tomorrow.
Ooh, we froze. We hadn't added anything to her computer. Vice Principal Annie opened her laptop and searched for our information. Nothing.
Yeah, that's strange.
Principal Blake pulled her into his office. She read his screen and then looked up.
I didn't know about this.
Don't worry, we'll be ready for them.
We looked at each other and celebrated silently. We did it!
February 18th.
We woke up early the next morning. Then we realized we had missed something important. We didn't know when school started. We quickly checked Cade's computer. 8:05 a.m. Okay, we looked at the time. It's 7:11 a.m.
We better get ready.
None of us wanted to miss our first day. I brushed my teeth using the toothbrush that the kidnapper had given me when I was still locked back in that crusty cage. Soon, we were ready. Coats on, bags packed. We walked toward the school, still amazed that we might actually have magic. Everything made sense now. We all loved science more than anything. But we were wrong about one thing. This school was very different, because standing in front of the doors was the man who had kidnapped me. And next to him were my parents. I froze. Mom, Dad, what are you doing here?
No, honey, it's really us.
Whoa, then why are you here with him?
Because we've been working with him.
To get you here.
They explained everything, how they planned this, how they moved, how the kidnapping was part of getting me to the school. Wait, are we in trouble? We got in illegally.
Oh, no, don't worry. We took care of it. The principal knows.
So we can go here?
Yeah.
Really? Wait, where's James?
Oh, well, he's at home with Grandma. He wasn't born with magic.
Oh, my dad looked disappointed. Then Mom checked the time.
Oh, go now.
8:05 a.m. Don't want to make a bad first impression.
That's true.
My friends rushed inside. I followed them, and that's when everything changed. That's when our magical adventure truly began.
Okay, Elia, do you want to stand up? This story had so many fun twists and turns that I was not expecting in the best way. I really liked your writing style of separating the sections into dates. That made it really easy to follow since there was so many different elements to this story. So great job with that. And I also loved how creative your story was. Good job. When it started with the kidnapping, I was expecting the ending to be a little more grim. But then it turned out to be this exciting, magical thing, and it left me wanting to know more about what happens next and all of the magical adventures to come. I was left wanting to know more and wanting some more explanation on the parents. Did they both have magic abilities? Why did they want her to go to this school? Stuff like that. The ending of the story left me wanting to know more about the other kids involved as well. Did they also get kidnapped, or were they there to help? Did their parents meet them on the first day too? So questions like that. And I look forward to maybe hearing the continuation of this story later on at some point. So great job.
Woo. Lulu's Epic Battle by MJ.
In the year 2090, there was an underwater town called Xochimilco. And near that town, there was a big sand field. In that town lived Lulu. Lulu is an axolotl. You might be like, what the heck? What is an axolotl? Well, here are some facts about axolotls. Lulu has these things called gills. She has 6 gills in all, 3 on each side. Just like Lulu, axolotls come in a lot of colors like pink, gray, brown, but Lulu is bluish green. The last fact is that if an axolotl, like Lulu, lost or got their arm or some other part of their body ripped off, they can regrow that body part back, but not the head. It was a peaceful night until, boom! It was the loudest sound the tiny town had ever heard. Lulu jumped out of bed, put on her slippers, and ran outside. What she saw was horrifying. Better, the great white shark was making a horrible, evil laughing sound. A shudder ran down Lulu's spine. She knew what was happening. Better, the shark, had gotten an army, and he was attacking her town. Lulu stomped over to the middle of town and yelled at the top of her lungs,
"Stop where you are!"
Everybody froze in place, except for Better the shark. After a few seconds, Better ordered his army to keep working. Stunned, Lulu just stood there thinking. After standing there for a few minutes, Lulu ran to each house, one after another, telling axolotls the horrifying news. Soon, all the axolotls were gathered near Lulu's house, where they could get a good view of what was happening. Everyone started talking at the same time.
I don't really know what to do. I'm really not sure about it.
Stop. Let's all talk at one time.
Everyone shared his or her ideas one after another. After everyone finished, Lulu shared her idea.
I know what I will do. I will go to Dolphin Cove, and I will make my own army.
What?
Can you? Of course I can.
All the other axolotls gathered in a circle and whispered in discussion.
Okay, we will let you try.
Lulu set off on her adventure to Dolphin Cove. Lulu was so excited for the day. Her dream was coming true, getting to meet a real dolphin. Once Lulu got to Dolphin Cove, she looked for someone to talk to, but she couldn't see anyone. However, she could hear someone. So she decided to listen and swim in the direction where the sound got louder. When Lulu found the current carrying the sound, she started racing down it. At the end of the current, Lulu saw a beautiful sight that blew her mind. It was Dolphin Cove. It was so pretty and perfectly organized.
Organized.
It was just a beautiful sight. If Lulu were going to organize a huge cove like Dolphin Cove, it was going to be organized just like this.
That's how I do it.
I'm guessing you like how I organized the cove?
Lulu turned around so quickly she almost spun like a dancer, but she stopped herself.
My name is Lulu. I'm an axolotl. Oh, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Coral. Here, let me take you to a more comfortable spot.
All right.
Once Lulu and Coral got to the more comfortable spot, Coral asked,
Why did you come to Dolphin Cove?
Well, I'm here because I need your help. My town is getting attacked right now. And axolotls are not great fighters.
Who's attacking you?
Better, the shark. Oh. So, will the dolphins help?
Yes, the dolphins and their leader, me, will help.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Once Lulu and the army of dolphins got to Lulu's town, Coral looked at the situation. She pulled Lulu into a corner and whispered an idea.
Okay, we might need to put the guards on the boundaries of the town and place some guards near the situation to get a closer look as to what's happening. They will make a report and then on every move the army makes and write it all down on their computers with rolly stands. Then you can decide what happens next.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, okay, let's see how it works.
They started with Coral's plan by setting up guards. It worked perfectly. They got all the information they needed for Lulu's plan to begin. So Lulu, Coral, and Coral's army started to approach Better's army. Better noticed immediately and swam over to block them.
Hey, why are you blocking us?
Because this is my army and they are at work.
So, we can't get past you?
Shocked, Better stepped backward and stared at the sand below them.
Let us pass you now.
Better almost stepped aside, but he didn't.
You are going to stop my plan, so I am not letting you pass!
Well, for your information, I'm not going to let you destroy my town. I will fight for this lake to be safe.
Okay, then prove it.
Okay, let's go to the sand field.
A few minutes later, Lulu, Coral, and Better and the armies arrived at the enormous sand field.
Oh, this is huge!
I know, right? I know.
Lulu got the dolphin army set up in a heartbeat. All the dolphins lined up perfectly and quietly, and they watched Better try to make his army look better than Coral's. But no one could do it better than Coral. Once he finished, there was a moment of silence.
Come at me in my army, scaredy cat.
Wait, you actually thought I would fight? I'm not fighting, and neither are they. Now be honest. Raise your hand if you joined the army because you were scared or wanted to look powerful to your friends.
One by one, members of Better's army began raising their hands.
I know you might be scared or want to show off, but if you are scared, come to my side. We will be kind and make sure you have everything you need. And if you want to show off, come to my side and you will earn the name of hero.
About a fourth of Better's army joined Lulu and the dolphins, creating a mixed army. Lulu's army waited for the mean words that might come from Better.
I know you think Better's plan will make you famous and powerful, but you will be famously bad. Everyone will be afraid of you. Lake creatures are friendly and don't want to fight each other. Join me and we can defeat Better together.
Soon the entire army joined Lulu's side. Lulu and Coral giggled when they saw Better's angry face all scrunched up. Lulu told everyone to go to Dolphin Cove to get some rest because they had been awake all day and night. Even though Lulu was tired, she kept going.
Look, Better, I know you just want to get payback, but I have to know. Why?
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I was walking into the school for sharks, and I was the size of a lemon shark. Every shark student made fun of me, so I skipped a year of school and just ate and grew, until I was as big as my math teacher, who was a megalodon. Then I got to pick on everyone, and I felt powerful.
Oh, so you want to feel that power again. But that kind of power is bad. It makes people feel terrible. If you become a lake fook, you will have to be kind to everyone in the lake.
Oh, I don't know if that's right or not, but I want to try a new kind of power. It might be fun. We will start by building you a house right next to mine, so I can keep a close eye on you to make sure that the other axolotls are not being mean to you.
All right. Does that sound like a good start?
Sounds great.
And with that, they headed back to Lulu's town. When Lulu and Better got back to Lulu's town, Lulu went over to a tiny house and knocked on the door.
Do you have any wood we could borrow?
The other axolotl thought for a moment and replied,
Yeah, I will go get it.
Cool.
After a few minutes, the other axolotl came back with a lot of wood in a huge wheelbarrow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When they got to the spot next to Lulu's house, they began building Better's house. The reason why Better is moving into Lulu's town is because she thinks that a supportive community will let him feel what it feels like to have everyone in his community there for him. Once Lulu and Better were done building, Better got settled into a cozy little town, and they all lived happily ever after. Or maybe this was just the start.
The end.
The end.
Oh, they saw
MJ, where's MJ? MJ here? Yep, right over there. Oh, there's MJ. All right. Hey, thank you. And I love having an axolotl in this story. My grandsons have an axolotl. They have this in a aquarium thing in their kitchen. They feed it little worms. It's really cool. I love the really imaginative use of the axolotl and the name, and I'm not sure of the pronunciation, Xochimilco, something like that. Maybe you can help me with that. And that, folks, is the actual place where axolotls actually live near Mexico City. I had to look it up. And I like the message of peace and anti-bullying. That's something we need a lot more of, peace and lack of bullies. But I kind of wondered a little bit about why some of these swimming creatures, axolotls, dolphins, and sharks, were sometimes swimming and sometimes walking and stomping and running. It was kind of a mix. But overall, I really liked that it was kind of a fun story. And keep going, keep writing stories and keep having fun with them. And thanks for bringing axolotls into our lives.